And we're live. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome back to Endwalker. I'm continuing Sorin's journey through Final Fantasy XIV. Last time I had to finish up a little early because I was getting quite a lot of dropped frames. Things were, in general, just not seeming particularly stable. But hopefully today we'll do a little better. So, yeah. In terms of what actual progress we made last week, yesterday, we finished off the Ishgard role quests, so the magic DPS. And now we're on to physical DPS with, hello, that's an E for Eggy, I believe. We're on to the physical DPS, physical melee DPS in Lominsa. We've barely gotten started. A man at Razatan told us to expect you. I'll inform the Admiral of your arrival. Please do. Glad you could join us, Sorin. I only wish it were under better circumstances. The grave news from the bounty has not escaped our ears. I can scarce begin to imagine the horrors you have witnessed there. Pains me to say the selfsame hell has come to Vilbrand. Fell beasts born of deepest despair have been sighted all throughout our island. Tell them what we know. The first report came a few days ago from one of our men patrolling Skull Valley. He spoke of a fearsome creature unlike any native to our shores. While we had our suspicions, it was only later that the connection to the final days was confirmed by a most unlikely source, the Sahagin. We've been treating their tempered for some time now, and many have made a full recovery. Owing to this, some factions are eager to improve diplomatic relations with Limsa. That's good to hear. It is one such faction that has provided the most comprehensive reports, in all their alarming detail. So, what do we know? They speak of a most dreadful sight, their spawn brothers transforming into horrific beasts before their very eyes. Indeed, it is far too similar to the incidents in Razatan to be mere coincidence. If our assumptions are correct, the first and most formidable of the beasts, a Blasphemy as it was decided we would call them, prowls our waters as we speak. Fortunately, there have been no sightings of the Blasphemy within the city. Nevertheless, if we are to spare the people the horror that befell Razatan, the fiend must be dealt with, and quickly. Despite our investigative efforts, we remain very much in the dark as to the precise nature of the threat we face. Were we to recklessly dispatch large numbers of troops, we'd run the risk of having our own men corrupted. You can well imagine the carnage that would ensue. As such, Admiral Bluefus has decided to keep those involved to a minimum, and lead the investigation herself. You're taking to the field yourself again? And I would have you at my side. What say you? Of course, Admiral. In spite of everything else, I'm still a member of the Maelstrom. You have my thanks. We'll depart at once to meet with our Sahagin allies, and gather what knowledge we can, that we might devise a proper plan of attack. They are due to arrive at South Tidegate soon. I'll go on ahead and wait for you there. Right. South Tidegate. I wonder what the odds are that this allied group is connected to Nov's group at all. It is probably quicker to teleport, isn't it? To teleport. This fog doesn't exactly look like it's going to be conducive to a hunt. So first things first is learning about our target. Admiral? It's well past our agreed upon meeting time, but the Sahagin are nowhere to be seen. They did not seem to sorts to break their word, and this bodes ill. Let us leave this place to the guards, and search Halfstone for any sign of them. Right. Did they maybe get held back by some who are still temp? What? That looks like one of Nov's clutchmates. Nov is in danger. Quickly, to his aid. Oh, right, you're talking about a different Sahagan. Oops. No. That looks like trouble. These are... definitely seem like blasphemies. Well... okay. I don't remember trying to mount any mounts.
Many thanks, Eorzea. Pray tell, is my companion safe?
I believe so. Admiral Blasphemy was with him.
The Admiral herself comes to our aid. Glad tidings indeed. You too have my boundless gratitude for saving my life. Let us quit this place before those beasts return.
Right. Don't see any others around. The Admiral seems fine here. Everyone's still alive. Good. Not if we stay out here too long. Inside. Quickly. Right. Best to be inside the walls.
Thank you, my friends. Those ghastly beasts would have made short work of us had you not intervened. And yet, it brought me no joy to watch them die. For, unbelievable as it may sound, until a short time ago, they were none other than our very own Spawn brothers. At first we thought them merely cursed, but our talismans and magics availed us not.
Aye. It was no curse. It was an evil like no other. Innocent souls transformed against their will into unholy beasts called blasphemies.
Blasphemies! Pray, tell us more.
That would be your area of expertise, Sorin. Right. Well, where to begin? Hello, Mooney. Welcome to the stream. Frame rate does seem stable so far. There were a few dropped frames at the very beginning, but that was while I believe during the opening. And I kind of I'd been doing some stuff, like setting up the camera for the beginning of the stream. And I passed through the Limsa Lominsa Plaza, which I think is probably responsible for the few frames I have dropped. And indeed, more Sahagan to voice.
Turned into beasts by the power of despair. This is horrifying indeed.
Thus far, the phenomenon here in Eorzea has been limited to the Sahagan. Why is that?
I cannot say. Yet, I wonder if the crushing tide are involved in some way.
I know naught of this crushing tide.
A word of them has yet to reach you, I see. It all began when the Indigo Matriarch, the queen of our kind, was stricken with a grave malady.
The queen is ill?
Tragic as this was, there was one small solace. She was not fond of shore walkers. And so, deprived of her leadership, more of my kind came to see the wisdom in making peace with Limsa Lominsa. There remain, of course, those who would oppose our cause. They formed a group they call the Crushing Tide. Even now they seek to summon the Lord of the World anew, and consign all finless ones unto the briny deep.
You're not having ramen, what's rat? I don't know what the Ra is. I just know the men is noodle. Unintentional, right? I mean, more people trying to summon primals at a time like this.
However, they lack the crystals necessary to do so. Denied the power they crave, they can do naught but gnash their teeth in desperation.
And you suspect these feelings of helplessness are the cause of their transformations? Oh, it's called them a loop. I guess you could look at it that way.
Just so. Those of our spawn brothers who turned into those beasts had been fraternizing with the crushing tide. Despite our differences, we cannot abandon our kin to such a cruel fate. Yet we must not be careful not to drive them to still deeper despair. Yes, we must consider the situation carefully, lest we bring destruction upon all our kind.
Tell me this. Are the crushing tide even now under Leviathan's thrall? If freed from their drowned state, might they not listen to reason?
Were it only so simple. All but a few are long since cured. They walk this path of their own free will.
Excuse me? In that case, they may yet be dissuaded from their present course. For the sake of our nascent alliance, we will do all we can to save your brethren. Starship combat thing? Yeah, there is a fair bit there. It's why I kind of recommend only focusing on what specifically your role does. Excuse me again. Fortunately, a most capable ally stands with us. But this man has bested many a formidable foe, including Leviathan.
The great Sorin Sherwood, in the flesh? Honored am I to stand in your presence.
Like ever, we will weather this storm, and usher in a new age of harmony. This I swear. There's much to be done. For now, let us return to our homes and prepare as best we can for the trials ahead. Should we discover aught of value, we'll be sure to share it with you. I ask that you do the same.
Indeed we shall. Until such time, I watch over my swan brothers, and pray that no more succumb to the change.
There's a Hagen here already. Vulnerable group. I'm going to not teleport via Limsa. I'm going to be stingy. I'm just cautious about traveling too much through the Limsa Aephorite Plaza. Yeah, we think. Ooh. Yeah, well, starting from next session, you'll be able to crew a 4th position. I suppose, yeah, with that in mind, I probably will have to write up a couple of NPC blocks for potential help. do hope Nov and the other group does need to build up the name a bit more before people... Yeah. The Solar Song doesn't quite have the reputation to recruit people off of reputation. So it'll come down to how much you're willing to pay for the help. Welcome back. Thanks to you and Noel, I now possess a proper understanding of the challenge we face. It is a daunting task that lies before us. We'll continue to cooperate with the Sahagin to learn all we can. Once you have located the Blasphemy, I will have need of your strength. Till then, I ask that you remain at the ready. Clearly, the storm clouds have only just begun to gather. Right. Any news? Your timing could not be better. The Admiral has just this moment returned from meeting with the Sahagin. I shall inform her of your arrival. If you wouldn't mind. Admiral, I hear you've got news. Ah, Sorin, I'm glad you're here. We've decided on our next course of action. As you know, we face two distinct but interconnected challenges. The transformations occurring among the Sahagin may be one, but the blasphemy itself is the root of the problem. Thus far, those who succumb to the change have all been affiliated with the crushing tide, who continue to resist our diplomatic efforts. Were we to put a stop to the phenomenon, as well as address their grievances, we may yet have a chance at peace. To that end, I would propose a double-pronged approach. On one front, we shall work in tandem with our Sahagin allies to redouble our patrols. Should the blasphemy surface, we will share this knowledge and move immediately to dispatch the threat. At the same time, we will pursue a dialogue with the crushing tide. We need to bring them back to the negotiating table, and then see what can be done to convince them to stand down. A key point will no doubt be the lingering issue of securing land for their spawning grounds. It is a discussion I intend to approach with an open mind. It will be no easy task, but we succeeded with the kobolds, and I have good faith that we will succeed with the Sahagin as well, so long as we parley in good faith. None. Sorin would be more optimistic than these options allow. I hope they'll be open to it. You're wise to temper your expectations, but I would not abandon hope ere we try. At any rate, Noel has sent word that one Dao, a priest who styles himself as the leader of the crushing tide, has grudgingly agreed to hear us out. I will parley with him face to face at the Sapsa spawning grounds, and would have you at my side. If you do not object, that is. Of course not. Excellent. In that case, pray join me at South Tidegate when you are ready. From there, we will go together. Right. Hopefully this goes well. Like the Admiral says, we should temper our expectations, but I've seen myself that the Zahaganers they understand the importance of peace as much as anyone else. All prepared, are you? Dao is not known for his patience. You must take care not to incur his ire. I was told he would be at the spawning grounds upon our arrival, but it appears he has been delayed. Let us speak with the Sahagin here. Mayhap one of them will be able to shed light on what may be keeping him. One more thing. I come here as a representative of Limsa Lominsa on a diplomatic mission. Should the talks deteriorate and things come to blows, I cannot be seen to bloody my hands. I trust that you understand. And with that, let us be off. Right. I suppose that's fair enough. Into the spawning grounds itself. Excuse me.
Psst, what is this? Since when are filthy shorewalkers free to intrude upon our sacred spawning grounds?
Pray forgive our intrusion. We seek an audience with Speaker Dow. Where might we find him?
You will do no such thing, shorewalker. You have not forgotten what you did to Lord Leviathan. Begone!
We won't get much out of this one. Let's try elsewhere. Right. At least it didn't come down to a conflict.
Psst. Why do you trespass in our domain, vile shorewalkers?
We mean you no harm. We come only for a peaceful parley with your leader, Master Dow. Where might we find him?
Psst. We desire no parley with the shorewalkers who would steal our home. Were it not for your insatiable selfishness, we Sahagin would grow and flourish.
Your grievances are justified. That is why I would speak with Master Dow and work toward a peaceful solution.
Psh, empty words from the thieving shorewalker. But so be it. Soon you shall learn the futility of your efforts. Speaker Dow is currently overseeing security at the spawning grounds. You will find him by the entrance. To mark my words, you will wish you hadn't.
We shall see. I thank you for your aid. Right. Near the entrance. Excuse me, just passing through. That looks like the mask of one of their speakers.
Shorewalkers in our spawning grounds? To what do I owe the displeasure?
Speaker Dow, I presume. Our apologies for entering into your home unannounced. I am Merlwyn Bluefiswin, Chief Admiral of Limsa Lominsa, and this is Sorin Sherwood. We come seeking a parley, that we might strive for peace between our peoples.
Parley, you say?
Prolonging this conflict any further will lead only to needless suffering. The menace both our peoples face is great indeed. If ever there was a time to set aside our differences and come together for the greater good, it is now. I invite you to join us at South Tidegate for formal negotiations.
Shorewalkers and Sahagin coming together? What assurance do I have that you will not slit our gills the moment we set foot within your territory?
I can offer naught but my word. We open our gates to you and invite you into our home as a show of respect.
I do not trust you, Shorewalker, but let it never be said the Dow of the Crushing Tide was a coward. I accept your offer, but attempt any treachery or subterfuge, and your people will drown in their own blood.
Very well, Master Dow. I look forward to a productive discussion.
Let us return then. I shall send word to Null as well. I would have our Sahagan allies join us at the parley. Of course. I suppose all factions need to be present, don't they? Winds of change are blowing. And now I've got hiccups. Where did they come from? He's here. Thank you for joining us here, Master Dao. The air here sickens me. Be brief. Aye, let us get straight to the heart of the matter. A common threat looms before us, one more powerful than any primal, with the potential to bring death without end to both Sahagan and Lominsa alike. These circumstances call for swift and united action. You doubt our intentions, but I remind you that we have liberated many of your kin from Leviathan's enthrallment. They and countless other Sahagan have joined us, of their own free will, that we may ensure the survival of both our peoples. Detected as you see. Don't put that in my head, Minnie, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to unsee it. Aye. By their deeds have the Lominsans proven themselves worthy of our trust. Master Dao, you and your crushing tide want only to secure a future for your people. I say to you, this can only be done by confronting this threat together. Threat? Threats? What is this threat you speak of? If it is unity you crave, then submit yourselves to our command. Be as the Serpent Reavers. They are the only shore walkers I deign to call friend. You would ask us to willingly surrender ourselves to your Lord of the World. I do. For that and that alone will ensure peace between us. Preposterous! You propose not alliance, but servitude. This way lies nothing but death for all Sahagan. Do you hear this, my spawn brothers? The shore walkers have stolen this one's mind. He decries Lord Leviathan, and espouses the lunacy of our sworn foes. These treacherous wretches have abandoned our god, and conspire to drive we faithful from our ancestral home. We must not let this stand. Oh boy, I feel it in my throat already. For shame! Forsaken by our spawn brothers! They side with the finless ones and blaspheme our Lord Leviathan. They who steal our spawning grounds and slaughter our children. Our future! Our future! That... It... changed. Behold! Behold this blessing! Lord Leviathan grants us greater and greater strength. Wait. You would call this a blessing? Such horrors! Flee! Flee for your lives!
You just don't do anything.
The beast makes for Ailport. I leave this place to you. Right. Splendid. Splendid. Let all our spawn brothers be blessed with such power. He's trying to make them change? Right.
Null, are you okay?
This is the second time you've saved my life, Shorewalker. My gratitude is as boundless as the sea. But what of the Admiral? We must go to her aid.
Right. Oh. Hope his name been on the wiki. Admiral?
I was too late. I'm sorry. There is no need for apologies. You are not responsible for my people's plight. But what I cannot fathom is Dow's response. How pleased he was to see his brothers become slavering beasts.
A fool believes it a blessing from Leviathan himself. Any hope for a peaceable solution will be lost should Dow and his crushing tide manage to wield these transformations as a weapon against us.
I shudder at the very thought. And yet, the true threat, the blasphemy, is still out there, yes?
Just so. The first ones to transform are those who have fallen into the deepest depths of despair. The more painful their anguish, the more fearsome and formidable they become in their bestial forms, and the greater their influence over others.
We can scarcely hope to stand against a legion of such foes. Would that there was more my people could do to help.
I will have the Maelstrom patrol the seas for the blasphemy, that we might slay it with all due haste. But this may well amount to naught. If the blasphemy too was born from our Sahagin, it could be sheltering in the depths, beyond the reach of our ships.
In that case, pray allow my spawn brothers and I to serve as your eyes beneath the sea.
Thank you, Noel. Through our efforts combined, we might yet weather this threat. As for your brothers who gave their lives today for our cause, I shall see that they are returned home to be laid to rest as they deserve.
You have my gratitude, Admiral.
And of that, we should return as well. There is much work to be done, and I would see it done quickly. Right. Kind of a curiosity has hit me. Is there anything specific if you talk to Nov during all this? I get the feeling they're involved because the coloration of the allied Sahagin are the same as Nov's clutch. Oh no, just a proud to call you son. North I go. Still nervous about taking any trips through the Limsa Lominsa Plaza. Off we go. Ah, Sorin. I was just sharing our findings. So you see, the danger is exactly as the Sahagin described. While Dao and his ilk have no means of forcibly triggering the phenomenon at present, it is plain they intend to seek one out. Redouble our patrols offshore, and inform me at the first sign of anything out of the ordinary. Shall be done, Admiral. I worry that we may be stretching ourselves too thin. Should the situation take a turn for the worse, I will recall our forces from Garlemald, yet I would reserve that as a last resort. For now I must get to work securing reinforcements. I ask that you remain close by. We may have need of your strength all too soon. I'll stay around, Admiral. Oh. Finally got your ramen. The Admiral has left a message for you, and the news is not good. It appears that the Lominsan merchant ship was assailed by a Sahagin raiding party affiliated with the Crushing Tide. To further complicate matters, the vessel in question was carrying a shipment of crystals supplied to us by the kobolds of Ogomoro. The Admiral suspects that Dao means to use the plundered crystals to summon Leviathan. She has gone to meet with Null, that we and our Sahagin allies might take swift action. She bids you join her immediately. Should the worst come to the worst, your experience in combating primals may prove essential. Pray make for South Tidegate, and rendezvous with Admiral Bluefistwin at once. Right. Is it really going to come down to another summoning? Summoning at a time like this could definitely cause more despair to spread. Thank you for coming, Sorin. The situation is grim. The Crushing Tide plundered one of our trading ships and seized a goodly stash of Ogomoro crystals.
Though their aim is clear, it appears they yet lack the quantity needed to perform the summoning. Dao longs for the days when every Sahagin cried out for Lord Leviathan's deliverance, and will stop at nothing to see them return. I cannot fathom what the Crushing Tide are thinking. What satisfaction, what happiness can be found in giving over their hearts and minds to a false god?
And so we must thwart their designs, lest the bonds we have forged be forever broken. By the same token, we cannot ignore the blasphemy, nor the transformations its presence may bring about. A battle on two fronts, neither of which we can commit to at the expense of the other. As we sail into the eye of the storm, I would hear your counsel. What course of action would you propose?
Would I propose? That's... Well, especially if we're at risk of
primal summoning. What do we know about what the Company of Heroes is doing right now? Company of Heroes. Now that's a name I've not heard in some time. It is true that they answered the call many a time. Indeed, other than you and yours, there are arguably none better suited to the task of primal slaying. They disbanded over 5 years ago, and neither hide nor hair has been seen of their commander since. Aye, absent their leader, I suspect they will be reluctant to join our cause. And yet, I can think of no better option. I'll contact Weisgat, their erstwhile commander's right-hand man, and see if he will not hear us out. I will ask him to meet us at the Drowning Wench. Let us hope he is receptive to our offer. Right. Null, might I trust you and your brothers to continue to search for the Blasphemy in the meantime?
But of course, Admiral. Should we discover anything, you will be the first to know.
Back with the Company of Heroes, then. No, not Aleport. To Morby. I haven't had ramen in ages. There's not many places you can get it here in Ireland. I swear to well, unless you kind of like cup ramen. These are bad hiccups. I do wonder if it's actually been any help not traveling to the Ephraite Plaza. Because I can see that I haven't dropped any additional frames. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, very much. Not the after castle this time. I am. Do not like the hiccups. Ooh, lots of tofu. Always nice. My apologies for the... Bah. My apologies for the delay. Admiral? Were they not able to help? Yeah, hiccups. Bothering me. It's always something. Yeah, I swore 5 years ago that I was done playing hero. Weisgat. Hold your breath. Could someone explain what this is all about? Believe it or not, I'm a respectable man with respectable obligations these days.
Take that pole arm out of your arse, old friend. Stop pretending you're not still a murderous bastard at heart.
What's that wicked tongue of yours, Eorzea? As I skewered and prove you right. Nothing like a reunion with dear companions over a bottle of the wench's finest vintage. That is why we're here, right? Long time no eye catch up, Landers. Greyflux is a tummy tickle to see gobby friends again. Ah. Thank you for assembling on such short notice. You good? I have hiccups now. They don't stop.
Spare us the pleasantries, Admiral. Why are we here?
Nam, don't call me cute. I don't have... You need to have a minimum of the, like, Twitch affiliate Nam in order to make redeems. So you need to... If you want to make me a raw redeem, you'll have to convince enough people to follow me and to regularly view me that I can claim affiliate status. I make a simple request. Reform the company of here. Ah! This is highly distracting. Feral Growly. You say Feral Growly, and all I get in my head that those YouTube shorts of that Prince bird. Yep. Okay, that. It's not over. Prince in the Forbidden Cupboard. Ah. Delayed surprise. You have a reason? I'm sure. Out hear it. So there you have it. A terrible fiend known as a Blasphemy prowls our sea. A terrible fiend known as a Blasphemy prowls our seas, transforming to Sahag. Can I get through one voice line, please? A terrible fiend known as a Blasphemy prowls our seas, transforming to Sahagin into ravening beasts. At the same time, the Sahagin themselves, specifically a hostile faction calling themselves the Crushing Tide, had declared their intention to summon Leviathan anew. Should they succeed, we would be hard-pressed to deal with the Primal while still dealing with the other threats. A right pickle indeed. What? The answer is no. Commander disbanded the company. Now, as his first mate, it's not my place to gainsay his final order. You don't think... I'm fairly certain I've caught hiccups before on stream. I don't know if it's ever been This feels particularly bad, but I feel that might just be because I'm playing a dialogue heavy. I'm playing a game with a lot of dialogue that is expected. That's making me very aware of how often I'm hiccuping. Why? It's gonna take twice as long as it should to get through this cutscene. Sod that, I say. Have you forgotten our company's creed? The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. Are the people now in danger not the same men and women we fought to defend years ago? Commander would not have turned his back on them, neither should we. Bold words, Landonal. But do you truly believe that we can honor them as we are? Old mercenaries past their prime, lacking the commander whose wisdom and prowess sought him to glory once upon a time. Ah, yes. Your commander. Sneezes aren't cute. I'm aware my sneezes aren't. What if Sorin were to lead you in his stead? Surely you would not question his abilities. Wait, me? Lead the company of heroes? An intriguing proposition. I, for one, would not be averse to serving under such a decorated hero. Gobby friend has a goodly head for fighty think, and goodly arm for thinky fight. That's as ringing an endorsement as any, but I would hear it from the man himself. Do you believe you are capable of leading a company of heroes into battle? I feel this is a moment where Sorin would struggle with kind of being, am I? Sorin was a baby adventurer. As long as you don't need me to prepare a banquet to prove it. Still nursing that grudge, are we? I suppose we still owe you a dozen favors. If you're willing to lead, we'll follow. 5 years to the day. Truth be told, I was enjoying a more leisurely life. But when duty calls... Wait. Before we proceed, I must ask. Have we no way of reaching out to the commander? Forgotten how he took his leave, have we? Up and vanishing so we could each find our own way, apart from him and the company. And I doubt we'll see him again, much as I wish we could. Yeah, I still found that going through the banquet as Sorin made it much more enjoyable than doing it in my own time. Oh, 2 unforgettable banquets. Yeah. For very different reasons. To the matter at hand, the missions you will undertake. First, you would aid us tracking down the blasphemy that roams the sea. Second, you must prevent the crushing tide from summoning Leviathan at all costs. Oh, is that all? There I thought we might get our feet wet with a real challenge. But in all seriousness, we should take care to decide who attends what. In character is more aggravating for Sari, at least. Imagine button mashing through dialogue. Why? Why can I be fine all day and then the moment I try and stream So I was listening and seeing everyone was just doing frustrated. Yeah, the hiccups are pain. Sounds like a job for our acting commander. I'm sure I'll give it all due consideration. Right, I'm in charge. Try drinking water? I do not have water accessible to me right now. I have my gamer subs and that is it. Which, to be fair, is mostly water. Get up and get... That means going downstairs. Cool. Where I stream is as far to, like, one side of the house as I can get. I have to then... So to get into the kitchen means I have to walk all the way to the other side of the house to get to the stairs. I have to go down the stairs, walk around to the other side of the house to fetch water, and then come all the way back again. And I'm lazy, Money. You should know this. Good legwork. I get enough legwork in. Especially tomorrow, I'm planning to walk into town and get back to the gym. So, if I understand this correctly, we're to bring down this so-called blasphemy. Of course, to do that, we'll need to find the damn thing first. Maybe compliment you to... I'm trying to figure out how you intend to make that work, Minnie. We've also got to prevent the crushing tide from summoning their god, Leviathan. A tall order in and of itself. As acting commander, it's your job to decide who will be doing what, based on the skills we each have to offer. I'd recommend that you start by having a chat with each of us, that you might develop a sense of the strengths and weaknesses, mostly strengths, of course, of the storied veterans under your command. Right. It can make you feel increasingly uncomfortable. You're probably not wrong. Kind of weird. I don't... Thing is, Minnie, if you make me uncomfortable enough to leave my computer, do you have any guarantee that I'm not going to be uncomfortable enough to not return? My specialty, you ask? Why, impaling fiends with this lance of mine, of course. The stronger the foe, the better. None are a match for me. It'd be a folly to waste my talents on dealing with those slippery fishmen. Set me against that so-called blasphemy and I'll have the thing on a skewer before you can say Merle Bluefuswin. Does sound like... He'd be better off. I guess you can't literally leave industry. See, no need for compliments. None at all. Trying to... Obviously he wants to go out and kill the big creature, but at the same time, you need to track it first. I feel his Lanternal skills are maybe better put towards preventing the summoning. put him to kind of fighting... Get him fighting immediately, but in smaller fights will kind of keep him from getting bored and unfocused. I think. This is really something where I'd rather hear everyone's strengths and weaknesses first, and then make my decision once I know the full range of what I'm working with. Likes killing things. Yeah. But I suppose from Sorin's perspective, Sorin's probably just going to kind of... Well, he says he thinks he'd be better with the Blasphemy, so I'll trust him on that. A wise choice. Send Landon after Zahagan. And he's like to help them summon Leviathan to sate his bloodlust. He wouldn't actually go that far, would he? I will speak plain. I am not some battle-crazed barbarian like Landonel. As Noon of Dew, a tribe of peerless hunters, I conduct my affairs with discipline and prudence. Let me solo Leviathan. I'm sure he knows how to turn off the level sync. As such, I know better than any that to rush headlong into battle is rarely the best course of action. Far wiser it is to observe from afar and proceed with caution. That sounds like it'd be useful for keeping the Zahagan from summoning Leviathan. Very astute, if I do say so myself. There are few better suited to the task of averting needless bloodshed than the famously circumspect Huod Nun. As you well know, my vision is somewhat lacking these days. I can still defend myself when necessary, but I'd rather it not come to that. My condition also leaves me rather unsuited to scouting and searching. It wasn't always the case, but such is life. On the other hand, I'd like to think I've gotten quite good at sounding out the intentions of others during negotiations and the like. Maybe there's diplomatic means of at least slowing down the summoning. Summoning Leviathan would require faith. The more Zahagan we can pull away from that, the harder it'll be for the others, right? And if they do summon Leviathan, its strength is determined by the faith it's given. You're a keen sense for these things, I see. More so than reconnaissance or battle. Shimani has a knack for working behind the scenes to see the company's goals achieved. They put a blind guy to garden entrance. Has something. Well, I haven't played Skyrim in ages. I've only Skyrim's still one of those games. I've started playing it about 2,000 times, but I've only finished it once. Brayflock's master remaker of Illuminati Treasures offers much hand-lending with ingenuity. Far-seeing spyglass sees far into ocean deep. Crack fires go boom and blast beasts into bitty pieces. I get the feeling Brayflox is maybe better suited to something more direct. A logical choice, if I do say so myself. Brayflox's mastery of tools and armaments are sure to avail you in tracking and felling that beast. It would seem everyone has their assignments. And I dare say the choices you've made are nigh impeccable. If I didn't know better, I'd think you'd been leading us for years. Just... maybe I've learned a thing or two from that banquet. And with that, it's time we got to work. I've procured link pearls for one and all, that we can keep each other apprised of our progress. You may pick them up from Maelstrom Command. Oh, we'd best be off then. Should we have need to regroup or reconsider our strategy? Call for us.
Of course.
Stay safe out there. I will return to command, and share these developments here with the Secretariat and our Zahagan friends. Do join me if you can, Commander Sorin. Command? Right. That's a title that might take a little more getting used to. Oh yeah, something I had been meaning to say, by the way, but I'm gonna have to make a change to the schedule for this week's streaming, because I misunderstood when I saw the announcement about Final Fantasy being closed for maintenance. It's down for 48 hours, so I'm not getting to play on Thursday, like, at all, because the game is going to be down. But also, afterwards, there is a 55GB update, apparently, which on my internet might take a bit of time to download. So it's quite possible both Thursday and Friday are not going to be Final Fantasy. Sorin, the Admiral has apprised me of the situation in full. Furnish Sorin with a link pearl, yes? Of course, Admiral. Thank you. Time to play Omori. Ooh. I think I'm still wanting to save Omori until after I finish Endwalker, because if I understand, it's going to take me quite a few streams to get through. It would seem the company is trying to reach us. Already? Oh there, Commander. Just give the word and I'll come running.
Lower your goddamned voice, will you?
Watch your tongue or I'll track you down and rip yours out. They sound more like mortal enemies than old companions. That's where Sorin comes in. I'm trusting you to whip them back into shape. Make them a force to be reckoned with. I'll do my best. I will have the Secretariat contact you if there are any developments. I would convey them to the entire company by link pearl, but cannot afford anyone taking reckless action. In the meantime, I will reach out to Noel and see what he has gleaned about the crushing tide and their hideout. Let us hope for good tidings, Commander. Right. I think it's still going to be the, I think it's still Edith Finch is the next one I'm planning to play. Grave news, Sorin. We've just received word that Candlekeep Quay is under attack. It would seem the crushing tide has struck again. The Admiral asks that you deploy the company of heroes at once. Our man here will act as your signaller. Right. That's not good. Company of heroes is awaiting your orders. Okay. Everyone, this is Sorin. Candlekeep Quay is currently under attack by the crushing tide. Candlekeep Quay? Mufflandinal and Udo Nun should be close by. What are your instructions? Landinal is a hot-headed warrior who lives for the thrill of battle, while Udo Nun is a calm and calculating hunter. Both can serve you well, but better if assigned to a task suited to their skills. Landinal, focus on fighting back the crushing tide. Don't let them get to the civilians. And consider it done, Commander. Nun, can you protect the people as they evacuate?
Understood.
The rest of us will head there at once. I'll tell the Admiral you and a company of heroes are on your way. Godspeed. Right. It's down by the dry docks, isn't it? Here we go. I think the hiccups have gone. Langell, this is... You kept us waiting long enough, Commander. Not that I'm complaining. More fishermen for me to skewer. How did the evacuation go?
Is that all? I was just getting warmed up.
Just love tempting. I'll be fine, Or not. The tide has already ebbed, if you follow my meaning. Perhaps you're curious how your men carried out your orders. You'll be pleased to hear that Landonal led the attack with his characteristic aplomb, dancing amongst his foes with such speed and ferocity that were dizzying to watch. Uardnun made full use of his talents in leading the rescue effort. Not a single man, woman, or child suffered so much as a scratch. That's perfect. I had my doubts at first, but you've passed your first trial as acting captain with flying colours. Good to hear it. So... Admiral? The battle is over, I see. It's good to see the company of heroes can still live up to its name. I demand answers. Why did you target Candlekeep Quay?
Shh! I spit on your questions, filthy shorewalker.
You know something spicy when you're... Oh, yeah. That is spicy. I was hoping we might do this the easy way, but if you insist...
Psst, so you would torture us? You shorewalkers are all the same. Savage brutes, the lot of you.
Torture? Oh, please, we are not so uncivilized as that, my slippery friend.
Shh. Brayflox's shiny treasure will have fishermen trading tongue flaps in no time.
Allow me to explain. Shimani, Lamani, and Brayflox are well practiced in the art of interrogation. Shimani has a sharp mind, as I'm sure you've noticed, and a knack for getting information out of uncooperative types with a minimum of fuss. Brayflox, on the other hand, her methods can be unconventional, to say the least. But it's hard to argue with the results. Well, Commander, the choice is yours to make. Right. I think in this situation, we need a gentler hand. Shimani, do you mind handling this? But of course, Commander. Watch as I get him talking about so much as lifting a finger. You did tell me you're kind of particularly fond of Lanosian oranges. And might I interest you in a glass of delightful orange wine, brewed from our latest harvest?
This is an Everglass shore worker. I demand it in return for the crimes you've committed against my spawn brothers.
Oh, a mere glass, my friend. Why, I'd be more than happy to offer you a full bottle. Nay, an entire cask, if you provide us with the answers we seek.
Psst. We have a deal, shorewalker. For a cask of that blissful beverage, I will tell you all my secrets.
Yeah, people can often get a false confession out of people. Again, I ask, why did you target Candlekeep Quay?
Dao himself gave the order. Said we must establish a foothold in preparation for our assault on the city.
Assault on the city? He means to attack Limsa Lominsa itself. But with your numbers, that would be folly.
Speaker Dao commands power beyond the comprehension of you shorewalkers.
We have dealt with Leviathan before.
You misunderstand. Speaker Dao says it is a greater power still. The very first being blessed by our Lord.
Blasphemy? The blasphemy. Tell me where Dao is.
An island far to the south and east. There he performs the rite that will summon forth the Divine One and deliver my brothers and I to glory.
Thank you for your cooperation. I suspect that Dao is hiding out somewhere in the Cieldeles. A deserted isle, most likely. I don't know much about these so-called blasphemies. They truly be tamed so easily. We have no evidence they can, but we must operate under the assumption that Dao has found a way. I will ready a ship. We set sail for the Cieldeles at once. Prepare yourselves and meet me at the docks as soon as you are ready. Right. I'll have Shamani and Brayflux continue the interrogation in the meantime. Our friends here might still be hiding something from us. I'll leave this to you then. Yeah. I guess I have to go to... Lower Lenosia? Well, the lower decks. Gee, I can teleport for free. Now let's look at my dropped frames and see if anything happens. No, nothing. Ping, okay. Pings definitely seem better today in terms of connection. Admiral? Everyone is here? Good. We make for the Cieldeles in search of Dao's hideout. Our friend Noel will be waiting for us there. The Blasphemy too may be present. Be vigilant and keep your weapons at the ready. Well, Commander? Do you have any words for your men on the eve of battle? Inspiring speeches, I guess just... Remember what the Company of Heroes stands for. The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. Found him. We meet again, Dao. Where is the blasphemy? Tell us now so we may end this madness. Don't like this. Admiral? That's... I think that's it. Speak of the bloody devil.
There it is. The dread beast I saw beneath the waves.
The source of our woes. A bad time. The echo. Of all the times. Wait. I think I'm okay, Admiral. I can, maybe not. Defend the commander! I guess there really is no fighting it. That's the matriarch.
I bring grave tidings, my queen. The wretched shore walkers poisoned the minds of my spawn brothers with false words and foul magics.
I can literally tell you to say that. Yeah. The echo's been really inconvenient recently for Sorin.
Our poor beguiled brethren renounce Lord Leviathan and name him a false god. They treat with Limsa Lominsa, and some even call for an alliance. We must summon him, that the lost might receive of his blessing anew. This I would gladly do, had our stock of crystals not run dry.
Spawning. Voice for the matriarch.
Spawning time is nearly upon us. Yet you fight and bicker amongst yourselves. How am I to birth a new brood when my children grow and stand divided? Who dares enter the sacred chamber? Forgive my intrusion, Queen Mother. I speak for the Sahagin who seek an accord with the shore walkers. A new age is upon us. We needn't turn to false gods, nor foment bitterness and bloodshed in our precious spawning grounds. The shore walkers have changed. They endeavor to understand us, to share these lands with us, that they may have peace, and we our spawning grounds. Could this be true? Lies! Lies! Do not be deceived by that one's delusions, my queen. He is a heathen who has strayed from Lord Leviathan's light. The shore walkers are oath breakers, now and forevermore. As they extend one hand in friendship, they clutch a dagger in the other. We are beasts in their eyes, deserving of naught but slaughter. Oh, for a blessed moment, I felt the faintest touch of hope. But you are right, thou. They are demons, and we are damned. Oh, for woe! My poor children have lost their faith, their minds poisoned by lies. They turn away from the Lord of the world, and cast their lot with the enemy. "'Tis so, my queen, 'tis so. We will have no choice but to abandon our sacred spawning grounds and sink to the ocean's floor to rot and decay."
Wait. If this is a vision inspired by the blasphemy, then how it's still here, so the matriarch?
Thou, dearest of my children, you tell then that we have no future. How can I bring new life into this world, knowing that my oops. I cannot! What's happening? Please, my queen, you must calm yourself. That... Such power! Such beauty! A blessing from Lord Leviathan himself! That...
This is a blasphemy, hey? I can see what all the fuss was about. Have your wits about you. Good. If you can fight, now is the time.
Right. That's... Strike now, my queen! Send the shore walkers and their honorless leader to their death!
This doesn't look good. What is...
There... What is...
What's happening? I can't feel my legs. That's not good.
Why, mother? Are we not your children, too?
Have to stand up. Damn it. We cannot weather another blow like the last. That was... I still don't know what in the Seven Hells just happened. I'll be damned if I'm going down without a fight. Steady! Race is feeding on our reefer. We'll not survive our head-on fight. Lantinel, Muad, remember the company's stratagem when faced with overwhelming odds. I don't know if I'm familiar. Retreat! Retreat! Let's get ourselves a bloody hell out of here. We're running away. That's a... No. Gone. Damn it all! We'd have better luck holding back the tide. How goes it, friends? Is what I would normally ask, but judging from the muttered cursing, I gathered to not go all that well. We barely escaped with our lives. I think the damned beast had the power to stop us in our tracks. Literally. What do we know of the creature's origins?
Was it once as a Hagen as you suspected?
Mayhap the echo afforded Sorin some insight.
Right. Well, actually, the Blasphemy's the Indigo Matriarch. Tao's villainy knows no bounds. Sowing seeds of despair into our Queen Mother's heart, she might transform into that monstrosity.
If she were the first to turn, then there was nothing deliberate about it. Still, it's clear that his word served as a catalyst. If we kill the Blasphemy, it'll be tantamount to killing the Sahagan's queen. That's not going to endear us to them one bit.
I cannot turn my spear against the mother who birthed me, let alone take her life.
Out of curiosity, did anyone see who fired that shot? Were not for them, we'd all be dead. I didn't see anything. I know not, but we must formulate a plan, and quickly. My scouts tell me that the Blasphemy has left the island, and now roams the open sea. I will order them to continue the search. In the meantime, we must find a means to overcome the beast's formidable offense. Leave that to us. Time and again we've used our wits and experience to triumph over the longest odds. To defeat your enemy, first you must know your enemy. Tell me, Commander, what do you reckon was the most valuable knowledge we gleaned from our initial encounter? That... You said something about it absorbing ether, right? I concur. Now that we know how the beast disables its foes, we can use this knowledge to devise a proper defense against it. But that is not all we have learned. While the Blasphemy can maneuver through the water, it also frequents caves and the like. Our best chance of defeating it would be in such a place. Our only chance, I dare say. I will send scouts to identify any and all large caverns and coastal areas that could serve as shelter for a massive creature. To ensure the safety of our people, and have any hope for peace with the Sahagan, this is a battle that we must win. All your strength and wisdom will be needed in the days to come. Dismissed. Give me a moment. Fetch another drink. Voicing Sahagan like this is really not good on my throat. No. Come, let us share our findings of the Maelstrom. Right. This definitely doesn't make things easy for us if it the Blasphemy's the Sahagan Queen. Now that we have seen what the Blasphemy is capable of ourselves, it is more plain to me than ever that it must be slain. Reach out to all trade ships entering and departing Limsa. Inform them that any sightings of the Blasphemy will be reported to Maelstrom Command at once. Understood, but given the beast's abilities, how do you intend to overcome it? I trust that the company of heroes and Sorin, experienced primal slayers all, will find a way. And yet, I would leave no resource untapped. There is one more whose expertise I would call upon, if you would agree. Even Weisscat is at a loss to his former commander's whereabouts, but mayhap Einzar could offer some guidance. No doubt you are still fatigued from the battle with the Blasphemy. Pray rest while you are able. When we are ready to take further action, you will hear from me. Till then, take care. Right. Does that mean the Admiral's going to be trying to find the commander? What do I use to make my thumbnails? I use GIMP. Graphics Image Manipulation Program. I believe it's an abbreviation for. It's kind of just like a free Photoshop. And then most of the time I look up kind of cover art or wallpapers for the game I'm playing. Just on Google Images. Yeah. It's not too difficult, especially... Oh boy. Hold up for a second there. Okay, we're back. I just glanced at OBS for a moment and I dropped to 0 kilobits a second. I think that's a case of my internet having a bit of a hiccup rather than anything else. Oops. I missed the dialogue. Yeah, like the thumbnails I tend to make aren't too complicated. I kind of want to put a little more effort into them, and I'm trying to do that a little bit more with streams where I'm using my avatar. But otherwise, it's only like it only takes like a 5-10 minutes at most to throw one together. Sorin, I wish I had better news for you, but the Blasphemy continues to elude us. Can you hear me, Commander? This is Weisscat. I have an idea how we might take down the Blasphemy. Meet me in Costa del Sol as soon as you are able. Right. Well, that sounds promising. I'll tell the Admiral you'll be away for a bit. Godspeed. And stay safe out there. Right. That hiccup is just a single hiccup and not a prelude to something worse. It is not a great day to be at Costa del Sol. Weisscat, are you sure you don't want to talk under... I guess we're all talking to rain. Apologies for having you come all this way, Sorin. Ever since our encounter with the Blasphemy, I've been racking my brain to find a way of dealing with its debilitating attack. Sadly, I've come up empty-handed. My companions fare no better. That's when I started thinking. If only our finest was still with us. He always had a knack for noticing what the rest of us missed. His eyes were so sharp he could spot a foe's weakness with a single glance. It's thanks to him that we were able to slay both Leviathan and Titan, and live to tell the tale. The rub is, well, he's a bit eccentric. And yes, I know you could say that about all the company members. But unlike us, he prefers to work from the shadows. Truth be told, I've not seen him since the day we disbanded. I doubt he'd help his old comrades, even if we asked. But an order from the company's acting commander would be a different story. In our heyday, we had a way of reaching him. Whistle at the forked road, and sooner or later, he'd show himself. Didn't matter when, winter or summer, in broad sunlight or the dead of night, he'd always be watching from afar. With any luck, he still is now. But I've rambled on enough. Go on now. This may be our best and only hope. Right. I'm not quite sure I get this. The whistle at the fork in the road. Don't see any sign of anyone. Here I was, enjoying my retirement. Why'd you have to go and bloody whistle? Hello? Call me Lawrence. I'm the company's resident sharpshooter. At least I was in my day. No need to tell me who you are. I've been watching you for quite some time. You have? Don't get me the wrong idea. Just curious. I'm a former mate, Sir Farron. Not as curious as folks were about me, though. First Weisgat, then old Mistbeard himself. As if those codgers could ever catch me. And now Eorzea's storied hero summons me forth. No need to say why. You're gonna ask me to help you take down the Blasphemy. That... Weisgat said he couldn't refuse. I'm not asking. I'm ordering you. We need to help. You drive a hard bargain. I like that. We might refuse an order from the company's acting commander. So tell me, acting commander, what specific duty would you task me with? I trust you do have a plan. Well... So you need a way to neutralize the beast's most potent attack. I can tell you like getting up close and personal with your foes. You'll be needing support from a distance. Who do you suppose might be best suited to that role? Is he the one who stopped the Blasphemy's attack before? He was watching then. I think this is a job for you. Damn right. My eyes are among the keenest in the realm, as you've doubtless heard from Weisgat. In pure marksmanship, none in Limsa are the Admiral's equal. Yet Merlwyb is ill-suited for a supporting role. Not for lack of skill, of course, but rather... Come to think of it, there's something you should know. Follow me. Right. Where's he off to? Really could have done with the weather being a bit better. Quite a view, wouldn't you say? You often come here to admire the sea. If you would, indulge me for a moment, and I'll spin you a yarn. Just try not to doze off. I don't think there's too much risk of that in this weather. Back in piracy's old golden age, the League of Lost Bastards ruled Rotano. I was one of them. As was Merlwyb. We were led by none other than our old man, Bluefus Bluefuswin, most feared captain of the high seas. Feared by his enemies, that is. Stern and unforgiving though he was, he took me under his wing and showed me the ropes. Aye, he was like a father to me, to us all, on that fateful day. It was in the year 1562 of the sick Fastral era. Lominsa and merchantmen were struggling with nigh constant raids by the Sahagin. Around this time, Bluefus had yielded the day-to-day leadership of the bastards to Merlwyb, his pride and joy. And she was still growing into the role though, and everyone knew the old captain was still calling the shots. Old Bluefus had a noble streak he did. Ordered us to defend the traders from the fishbacks. Merlwyb led the effort, and we fought day after day to keep the seas safe. Fighting was fierce, but we always came out of it in one piece. Until we didn't. Until, after a skirmish, the Sahagin survivor, with his last breath, summoned forth the Lord of the World. The great beast toppled our masts and cracked the keel like an egg. We clambered aboard the merchantman as our own ship sank. Naught to do but wait for the end. Then comes Bluefus and his bleeding flotilla out of nowhere to pull us out of the fire. And he did. But the League of Lost Bastards would never be the same again. For even though we'd escaped with our own lives, we soon discovered that Captain Bluefus, our iron-willed, unwavering leader, had fallen under Leviathan's thrall. Wait. Of course, in those days, we didn't know much about drowning or tempering. Didn't know what to make of our captain as he grew more haggard by the day, and his words devolved into crazed rambling. Then, one day, he vanishes, taken off with half of our men. Not long after, a band of pirates calling themselves the Serpent Reavers began taking prizes in the Indigo Deep, alongside the Sahagin. At their helm was none other than Captain Bluefus, who had cast his lot with the fishbacks. Merlwyb knew what had to be done, and to her credit, she didn't shirk from the deed. She acted quickly, sneaking off on the cover night with a skeleton crew without so much as telling me. Of course, that didn't stop me from stowing myself in the cargo hold and joining her on the voyage. She was none too happy to see me at first. Wanted to leave me out of it, she said. But seeing as I made myself known when she was struggling to fend off a horde of reavers and fishbacks, it wasn't hard to win her over. Her twin muskets fell in one after the next. My sharpshooting kept her safe from afar. We cut a path to the centre of the isle. It was there we found Bluefus, or rather the miserable wretch he'd been reduced to. All bones, with skin shriveled and a tangled mat of white hair. Eyes bulging from his head like a fish as he prayed to the Lord of the World. Merlwyb challenged him to a duel, and a dim memory must have flickered in his drowned mind. For he accepted. And so, with only me there to witness it, Merlwyb ended her father's life. League of Lost Bastards would have lived up to its name if it weren't for Merlwyb. She assumed full command and restored us to her former glory. Not long after, she triumphed into Trident and was named Chief Admiral of Limsa Lominsa. I often think back upon that day. Seeing her charge into battle, muskets blazing. Might seem reckless to some, but that's how Captain Bluefus taught her. She knows no other way. That's why I made it my job to support her from the shadows. And it's a role in which I'll happily serve again. I owe that much to our old man. My only doubt was whether you, my friend, were worthy of commanding me. But watching you from afar has answered that question. Aye, tell Wisecut and the rest of me no good companions that Lawrence stands with them. Right. Thank you. I have a feeling I kind of knew that story. Or at least... I knew Mer would have been through something. Did Lawrence show himself? He did. He's agreed to help. Well, that's a surprise. I had some hope your words might reach him, but never did I imagine he would agree so readily. Work, Bully. Don't worry, Minnie, we haven't hit the finale yet. Just one thing, Sorin. I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention Lauren's involvement to the company. Landonal in particular. I'll find out soon enough regardless. If you say so. At any rate, this gives us new hope in our battle against the Blasphemy. All that remains is to set the snare and lure the beast into our clutches. Said to use Gimp? Yep, Gimp is what I use. I believe it's all caps, except I think the I is in lowercase. I think the logo for it's kind of like a black ink blot with cartoony eyes. Our scouts are on the lookout for the creature as we speak. If the latest reports are to be believed, we are drawing ever closer. So just want to make sure you're getting the right one, Minnie. Not some knockoff. And with that, I'd best get back to it. I trust you to report these latest developments to the Maelstrom. Till we meet again, Commander. And you never know the other things you could get on the internet when you Google GIMP. To the Aft Castle. Search for the Blasphemy continues. I understand you've been carrying out an entirely different investigation. Just bring some extra hands on board. A marksman by the name of Lawrence, eh? The Admiral will be pleased. Of course, we won't have much call for his skills until the Blasphemy is found. Rest well, and prepare yourself as necessary in the meantime. Lawrence, why does that ring a bell? Despite our best efforts, the Blasphemy continues to elude us. For the time being, we... Sorry to interrupt, but I have an incoming communication from Ishgard. Ishgard? Commander, we've snared ourselves a Blasphemy. We've our erstwhile companion Riol to thank. Knowing that the creature was once the Sahagan Queen, he kept a close eye on the spawning grounds. Sure enough, he spied a massive black shadow moving beneath the water not long ago. After receiving word, Shamani Lamani directed the Maelstrom warships in the vicinity to herd the beast with cannon fire into the Zastasha Sea Grot. Isolated as the Sea Grot is, we can engage our foe without putting small folk at risk. Any words for your men, Commander? Assemble a company of heroes. I'm on my way. You don't have to tell me... Oh, that's Landonal. You
You don't have to tell me twice. I've been aching for a rematch. Rush in blindly and it will go as poorly for you as it did the first time. Knowing you, I'm sure you'll show up just in time to see me deal the killing blow. Now, can we not save our vitriol for the quarry which I've lured to the perfect spot? It is now waiting patiently for all of you to put it out of its misery.
Why did I move the dialogue? I don't know. Sometimes I just do things.
Hey, Flux's gobby booms blast over big blasphemy into bitty pieces.
A motley crew you'll never find, but will serve you well when the battle is joined, believe you me.
This is Merlewhip, and we'll ready a warship at once. Assemble outside the wench once you've all seen to your preparations. So the time has come. I shall pray for your victory. Right. Time to put an end to this. I hope.
Actually, I don't know why I do things, Mooney. I just... My brain isn't under my control a lot of the time.
Ah, Sorin. The others should be along soon. Alright. Guess we'll just have to smooth things over with the Zahagan afterwards.
Funny as you oh no, this wasn't a right click and like recenter the chat box. This was me actively choosing to move it. I just wasn't aware that I was doing so. I kind of remember that I did. I just kind of, it wasn't like a conscious decision to do so.
Would that my brothers and I could join you in the fight. And yet, blasphemous though it may be, that beast was once our mother.
I understand, Noel. Forgive us for what we must do. Were there a means to reverse the transformation, we would do all in our power to bring your mother back. Sadly, there is nothing left of her to save. For the future of the Zahagan and Limsa Lominsa alike, the blasphemy must be laid to rest. And when the deed is done, I would bring your brothers, even the crushing tide, aboard the great ship we call Vilbrand. I do not want to slay your mother, but this thing she has become, a mindless beast who would enslave and kill her own, is an affront to the memory of who she was. It is not her. It is not. Remember this always. You must. Stream's looking kind of sad about proper thumbnail. I mean, if you want more money, you could always ask as well. I've got an abundance of free time. I will not ask you to shoulder the burden of matricide. When the time comes to strike the final blow, I will do the deed.
Admiral, all you say is true, and yet...
You don't want to... Mooney, I'm sad and unemployed. It is not a bother. Commander, I've sighted a group of fishbacks. Crushing tide, most like. Heading straight for the sea grot. You'd best make your way here. And fast. Sounds like we can't waste time. Time to move out, then. Any words for your men before we set sail?
Right.
We're going out there, winning, and we're all coming back. Sorry. What do you mean you can't add the burden? I am incredibly unburdened at the moment, Minnie. Our new commander sounded more and more like the old one. But enough talk. It's time to show the realm that the company of heroes hasn't lost a step. We'll stand a better chance of slipping past a crushing tide if we split up. Sorin and I will go together, while the rest of you take a different route. Let us brook no further delay. To Sastasha. You just said you're sad. No, the sad isn't a I'm upset and unhappy. It's a I am a. That's Nov. Even he wasn't. Oh, not Nov, Dao. It's Dao, or what's left of him. Crushing tide. Speaker Dao! Why would our queen do such a thing? It is as the shorewalkers say, what we thought a blessing is in truth a terrible curse. The horror. We must away at once. And leave the shorewalkers to face our queen mother alone? No. I will stand with them. Del. You mustn't sully your hands with the blood of your mother. Go, and be with your kin. Go! Admiral. She knows the pain of killing a parent. Forgive me. I was beginning to think you wandered off a cliff, Lawrence. How must you say it like that? I prefer to think of myself as fashionably late. Alright. Not enough talk. It comes. Alright. Oh, that's... Here it comes. We're counting on you, Lawrence. Aye. No enemy's weakness escapes my eyes. Just one shot here, and... Hi. There we go. It's still going. See how easy that was? I reckon you can do it too, Acting Commander. Just destroy the orbs? Right. We have weak points. Here we go. Still more. Yeah, tricky ears won't work on us anymore. Ain't that right, Acting Commander? Is it likely to... Is that all you've got? Time to put you out of your misery. Alright. Ow. What's... Okay. That's not good. Admiral, don't come this way. Does bother me, NPC and the mechanic sometimes. What? Teleported? Oh, it's back. More. Everyone. Everyone here, I think we've got this.
You're in my sights.
Careful. Endangered flare. Oh. Oh. Don't like that. Oh, I see. Run away. This is... What is... These ones aren't going down too quickly. Oh. Okay. I don't know if we can take that again. It's certainly trying. Wait, that was bad. No. Now. That's enough ether to go blasting this entire island. We'd better work fast. We stand with you. Sahagin.
As do we, for the future of the Indigo Deep.
The crushing tide as well.
The winds favor us. I will not yield.
Just a little more. We did it. I will not ask for your forgiveness, but this I promise. You will be remembered for the mother you were.
Admiral, I have no words. Our Queen Mother returns to the depths in eternal slumber. With your strength, you could have crushed us easily. Why did you spare our lives?
The beasts and blasphemies are born from the despair in our hearts. But no more. I would break this cycle. Though Tao may have been blind to it, I believe in a future where Sahagin and Lominsa live in harmony. Even after losing who she was, your queen made for your spawning grounds, and it is there she drew her last breath. When your next queen is crowned, know that she will have a safe place to raise her young. Once you have selected a suitable location, Limsa Lominsa will recognize and honor your claim.
A promise for which we are grateful, Admiral. But what of the other peoples of Vilbrand?
The kobolds are open to the idea. The details will need to be negotiated, but I'm confident we can reach an agreement. Sahagin, Kobold, and Lominsa alike yearn to abide in peace. We can make it so.
I have never fought alongside shorewalkers before, but I must say, it felt good. We have fought our neighbors for generations. It has won us only suffering and tragedy. I beg of you, lay down your spears.
It will take time and effort to bridge the gulf between our peoples, but bridge it we shall. No sneaking away, Lawrence. I dare say we have a lot of talking to do as well, don't we, Commander Lawrence? Londonel, if you'd just allow me to explain. Let's be off before they drag us into this mess. Right. I believe that's their reunion to enjoy. Lawrence? So, how was your reunion? Perfect timing, acting commander. You must save me from this bloodthirsty bastard. Well, Lawrence, let's hear your excuse. And it better be a good one. And the 7 elves were you skulking about in the shadows while we did all the dirty work. Like you ought to be any happier if I showed myself sooner. I can hear you whining now. What, you didn't think we could handle this on our own? Aye, I'd be bloody furious regardless. I think I've forgotten what happened, or rather didn't happen on the day of our duel. Even though the future of the company hung in the balance, I waited, and waited, and waited some goddamn more, and still you never turned up. I've got you now. I will have satisfaction. Given Lauren's penchant for late arrivals, I couldn't help but worry too. To say he cut it fine would be an understatement. And not by choice as usual. My scouts observed him roaming near Costa del Sol not long ago. It would seem our commander's woeful sense of direction has not improved in the least. I'm honestly surprised you never realized, Landonel, that was to blame for his extreme tardiness. That the commander did indeed arrive at the agreed-upon location for your duel, after the sun had risen and set half a dozen times. Navigator, take me. Shawny, you promised that would stay between the two of us. Greyflocks, you have a kind word or two for your old commander, don't you? Commander Lawrence, commander no more. New commander, friend to gobbies everywhere. There's many sweatworks for gobby kind. So... There, I thought you were too much a coward to face me in battle. Come now, Landonel. You know me better than... Well, settled. We fight here and now. On your guard. Here and now? Put that thing down, I say. You could hurt someone with that. Hard to believe he was once the glue that held this merry band together. That's right. If you hadn't yet realized the obvious, Lawrence is our former commander. Forgive me for not stating it plainly sooner. I didn't want you to think we doubted your leadership. He's got his quirks, but as you saw, he's a force of nature on the battlefield. Right. Anyway, I think we can all say your stint as acting commander has been a rousing success. Now, I reckon it's about time you gave your final order. Company of heroes band break once more? Reflux never liked partying with gobby friends. Here. I may have my complaints, but we're together. A good fight's never far away. You hardly need a company commander to get you that. And should Limsa again be imperiled, there's nothing stopping us from rising to the occasion. Till then, you're all strong enough in your own right. Why not serve the weak in your own ways? Is that... They're all on board, or... Well... You are quite determined to duty, but all good things must come to an end. Any parting words before we go our separate ways? I suppose just that I'll be leaving Costa del Sol in your hands. Finally, I can enjoy some semblance of peace again. At least as much peace as a man can enjoy waiting hand and foot on the Lord of Costa del Sol. It may have been rough sailing at times, but I rather enjoyed serving under you, Acting Commander Sorin. I feel I won't miss the title. Well, if you've something to say, let's hear it. Well, maybe just try to keep the violence to a minimum while you're in the Shroud. If you needed to tell me. Well, I enjoyed the diversion, and I know as well as any that my true place is in Gridania, leading a respectable life. You may not have been the perfect commander, but 12 is my witness. I hope to fight by your side again. Farewell.
I await your orders, Commander.
I leave Forgotten Springs to you.
I have my responsibilities. A tribe that wants for my guidance and protection. I can ill afford to tarry here much longer. Nevertheless, it is with some regret that I take my leave. For all their faults, of which they have many, they are my companions, and I will miss them.
Shimani?
Well, let's hear it, Commander.
I suppose Wineport's in your hands. Maybe someday I'll be back for that bottle of Bacchus.
Indeed, indeed. I mean to return to Wineport as soon as I've tied up a few final loose ends here. Speaking of wine, I've always preferred the older vintages. Left asleep in their barrels for many a summer. Come out tasting better than ever. One might say the same about our own company.
And Brayflux.
Brayflux wants busy work. Brayflux awaits Uplander's lip flaps.
I'll be hoping the Illuminati doesn't give you any more problems. I don't know how much you heard about what went on in the Hinterlands, but...
Brayflux feels heavy heart, but accepts Uplander's bossy words. Brayflux had good times and happy fields with gobby friends. But good times will come again. And when they do, new boomsticks will bring blasty doom with much fastness.
Greyflock still with the dagger out. Well, Lawrence. And on that note, I ought to be on my way. Slipping away again, are we? You are a creature of habit. I resented you for it at the time, you know. I think I understand now. Better to shun fame and not serve as an example for glory seekers too eager to fight, and too quick to die. You're overthinking it. I'm a creature of whimsy. A man who lets the tailwind carry him where it will. More importantly, this new age belongs to the new blood. I've had my day in the sun. If you succeed in broken peace with the beastman, then there'll be no need to worry about primals. And the company can go into permanent retirement. And I can say I did right by the old man. If you hadn't been there for us both, I don't know if I could have pulled the trigger. Thank you, Lawrence. Brother. I did nothing. It was you who shouldered Captain Bluefuss's burden, and that of the entire League. I'm sorry, Merle. I know it hasn't been easy for you. But I dare say you've worked hard enough. Maybe us company folk aren't the only ones in need of a retirement. But I've said too much. Lawrence holding his tongue. Gods, you have changed. But yes, my greatest test as Admiral still lies ahead, as we steer the great ship Vilbren toward a new future. You truly are your father's daughter. I owe you my thanks too. You say you did almost a good job. Almost as good a job keeping my men to task as I could have done. I was just doing my best. Oh, called a hunch, but something tells me our paths may cross again. But forgive me if I carry on like I've never seen you before. Not unlike my old friend Miss Spirit, I prefer to keep my past in the past. And with that, I'm off. Take care of yourselves. So, that's Commander of the Company of Heroes. Null?
The blasphemy is no more. But we will never know lasting peace until the crushing tide agrees to lay down their arms. It will be a daunting task, but as we saw in Sashtasha, they are not beyond reason. I will do all in my power to see that your efforts, and the sacrifices of my brothers, were not in vain. Forgive us, even after being freed from false god's thrall. We still we clung to our hateful beliefs. It was easier to hearken to Speaker Dao's every word, and turn a blind eye to the harsh truth. Easier and cowardly. I will return and speak with my brothers of the crushing tide. I will tell them of our Queen Mother's sacrifice, and the vision of hope you have shared with us. I ask only that you give us time, and trust us to make our own decision. You have my word. If you would not be averse, let us return to the spawning grounds together. Adventurer, I have no words to express my gratitude to you. I will repay you the only way I know how, by doing my part to usher in an age where Shorewalker and Sahagan stand as one.
I look forward to it, Noel. Well, Admiral? Just us now, it would seem. Ever since we achieved a measure of peace with the kobolds, I prayed that this day would come. Though it is, of course, only a beginning, negotiations must be held, and words exchanged in earnest will invariably lead to flared tempers and bruised egos. But such things always accompany meaningful progress. The history of Vilbrand is one of bloodshed, but we have the power to change our ways. After all, it is clear we are united more by our similarities than we are divided by our differences. I shall share what I have seen of the Sahagin with my fellow Lominsans. Listen closely to their doubts and concerns. For it must be a harmony not foisted upon them from above, but one which they aspire to of their own free will. No doubt Noel and his brothers feel the same. I'm sure they do. Again, you have come to Limsa's aid. My aid, at a time we needed it most. When we next meet, I hope 'twill not be as Admiral and Adventurer, but as friends. Mayhap trading war stories over ales at the Wench. Hopefully a day like that's not too far off, Admiral. But for now, I must return to my duties. Drafting reports and decrees is hardly the most exciting part of my role, but it is a necessary one. If you happen to pass through Razatan, pray share your exploits with our delegate there. Doubtless he will be interested to hear your first-hand account. I'll be there soon. There's still other places in need. One day I will lay down these muskets of mine for good. Not yet, father. Not yet. Fafnir. I think back, it's just a Doman and Bredanian delegates left to speak with. After it, I can... might as well make use of the Ethernet. Saves a little bit of time. Sir? Sorin, you returned. Pray tell, what news from my homeland? The blasphemy's been dealt with, and things seem to be calming down there. Extraordinary! And a chance of peace with the Sahagin. These are heartening tidings indeed. Without a doubt, you have helped to dispel the pall of despair that once hung over all Vilbrand. Our people now bask in newfound hope. I must share the news with the others. Full glad will they be to hear that the threat to Limsa Lominsa is no more. Thank you again, my friend. Just 2 more to go. But for now, I think... I'd hope to start the next one today, but I feel with how little time's left, there's not too much point. So I might... yeah, I think I'll leave it here. So... it's probably next Final Fantasy stream won't be until Monday? Because, yeah, definitely won't be Thursday because that's... the servers will be down for maintenance. And I don't think I'll probably be able to have the update installed in time for Friday, being as large as it is. So I think, yeah, I think it's Edith Finch is the first game I was supposed to play in that series. Yeah, What Remains of Edith Finch. And I think then it's... then I can follow it up with... what's the other... yeah, The Unfinished Swan. But for now, I'm going to finish here. Hopefully, I will be able to keep streaming Final Fantasy XIV without any problem. Once the Dawn Trail comes out. It's kind of hard to say. Hopefully the fact that I'm not going to be in any of the new areas, and maybe the fact that there are new areas mean that the areas I am in are less busy, which hopefully might mean a little bit of less. Hopefully it won't affect me too much. I think I just need to make sure I get ready to start getting ready for the stream a bit earlier to accommodate what is very likely to be the increased queue times to get in. So yeah, no stream tomorrow, but I'll be back Thursday evening with What Remains of Edith Finch. I don't know exactly how long the game is, so I don't know if I'll be continuing it on Friday or if I'll be starting something different on Friday. I'll have to make that decision tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. At the end of the stream on Thursday. But with all that said, thank you so much for coming along. I really hope you enjoyed. And until next stream, have a good evening, have a good night, and goodbye.